I think it's a really interesting conversation because I think Cade can play 1 through 3 just because of his size and his length and his ability to create for himself and others.
Yeah, and I think, and you're right. I do think it's an interesting conversation because Cade is so multi-talented, and I do think if you slid him over to 3, and let's just say Killian Hayes became the starter, I don't see that happening. But he has been playing well as a starter, so we'll just have to say it. But if Dwayne Casey said, "Hey, look, we're going to go with Killian Hayes, Jaden Ivey, we're going to play Cade at the 3," I think Cade would be fine. The only problem is you're taking away the best parts of his game, of being the floor general, the lead guard, creating for others. That is what makes Cade so special. So even if Killian is playing at a high level, and even though Cade could play the 3, it just seems like it's a demotion and a waste of his abilities on the basketball floor.
I kind of think of Jason Tatum when I look at Cade a lot. And Boston for years they haven't really had like a lead point guard. Like, obviously, they did trade for Malcolm Brogdon, but he doesn't even start most nights. It's usually Marcus Smart. And when it's crunch time, when it's takeover time, or when they need a basket, Jason Tatum will bring the ball up the court. And I think that's where you could have Cade do the same things that Jason Tatum does. Now, I'm not comparing the two players because, in my personal opinion, I think Jason Tatum could win MVP this year.
Yeah.
I just think he's just having such a great season. The Boston Celtics are the best team in basketball. But to my point is, I think Cade could play small forward if he wanted to, and he could bring the ball up the court where it really wouldn't hinder his performance.
My thing, though, is if you play Cade off the ball, and I like that you compared him to Jason Tatum, because I talked about this with someone else earlier, that my biggest fear if you do move Cade to the 3, well, one of my other biggest fears is that, one of my biggest complaints about Tatum is he doesn't move well without the ball. Like, sometimes he just stands still when he doesn't have the ball because he doesn't always, I don't know, maybe not this year, but it seemed like in years past he didn't know what to do when he didn't have the ball. And Cade has always played with the ball. So I'm wondering, if you do move him off the ball, will he know what to do without it? That's another fear. And again, I just don't want to see the best parts of Cade's game being taken away. But I think that's a solid comparison. I just think Cade is such a gifted passer, and he understands the game at such a high level that you want to put the ball in his hands no matter what.
Yeah, I don't really have too many concerns with Cade Cunningham. I think what's so special about him is he can play multiple positions, and I've seen him move off the ball. I've seen him come off pin down screens. I've seen him play off the ball, and I've also seen him facilitate as a 6'6", 6'7" point guard. So he's the one player on this roster where I'm not even concerned about. Like, you can play a power forward. I'm sure he can figure it out. That's just how talented he is.